I've got a vibe going on this weekend because usually on a Sunday I play very serious songs, and I said no, I need to pump it up. And so I did a DJ song, and I've also linked it to Cure for Me just to get people in a more effervescent mood, in a better mood, because with Ireland the restrictions have relaxed. We still wear masks because of the virus and the pandemic, but we're in good spirits. Concerts are coming about, artists are coming about, and even Aura is doing a concert next year, and I'm looking into the tickets because I'm going to that concert. I can't wait. I'm like a wee child, I have to say. But Cure for Me came up, and it's got a great vibe, and I was really interested because I heard the remix. This is the original video I'm going to react to, and I thought, what's this about? Because is this a new turn for her? But she said Cure for Me is a single to Aura's upcoming third studio album. Aura talks about how the track was inspired by countries that still have legalized conversation therapy for the gay community, and this song is an anthem of self-love and how we are all perfect no matter what our differences or what society may deem as irregular. Sonically, the track experiments with a more playful sound, different from what Aura has done in previous songs, which is why it really interested me. Now, she says, it's quite a strange song. I think some people may really like it or people may not. Like always, I got inspired by a really huge, dark and horrible thing that happens in the world. The first seed of inspiration came from thinking about the countries where it's still legal to do conversation therapy for gay people and lesbians. I just thought that's so pointless. The first idea was me saying, I don't need a cure for me. Just let me live, man. Why is it so difficult for people just to let others be themselves, she thought. Then I thought it could mean many other things. People tend to believe quite quickly that something is wrong with them if they're not like people they see in front of them. It's so sad that it doesn't take much for us to really doubt ourselves. Cure for Me is something in common with the album in that I'm experimenting with new things and new sides of me. It's easy for me to make a really Aura album that feels like nature and Mother Earth, that comes really naturally to me. So I'm really enjoying doing something different. This is my third and a half album, and it's she's very funny, and it's about time in my mind just to play around and do something different. I wholly agree. I'm going to actually give you a personal insight into the lyrics straight after we hear, for my first time listening, and I'm a huge Aura fan, everybody knows that. On my channel I have lots of her singles. Even recently I played and reacted to a song, but I just had to react to this because I wanted it to be uplifting, and as a gay person I totally support an artist that supports us and my community. So take it away, Cure for Me. And it's a lyric. I meant to say it's a lyrical as well for everybody in many translations. So click on the settings, get your language, and enjoy.
And from the liars, the fuel on the fire, I know I created myself. I know I can't fight the sad days and bad nights, but I never asked for your help. You got hurt, but we don't belong together. So you took the love from my arms into the arms of yours, but I don't need a cure for me.
Oh, I I don't need a cure for me, Aura, and I totally agree with that video. Absolutely brilliant. The passing of the apple is like the Adam and Eve's symbolism, isn't it? Almost that you need to be a straight person to reproduce, to have children, to carry on civilization, and that people who are gay, like myself, in life, especially when I came out, was considered, what? He's one of those people? Whisper, whisper. Because coming from a small Irish village, it was difficult. So I had to move away from home. And I remember in my situation, I went from a little village in Ireland and I went up to the north of Ireland, to Belfast, because I just felt it was freer. I wasn't prepared to go to Dublin for my own personal reasons. I just felt, let's go to Belfast. It's a quieter city, collect my thoughts and see how I get on. And I had a fabulous time in Belfast, made lots of friends. I have a sister that lives there and my nephews, and I have family there. So for me, it was a turning point in my life because I had to deal with whom I became. My parents were very, very supportive, I have to say. In fairness to my two parents who are now both died of cancer, I do say to them, thank you for giving me such a liberal upbringing. My mother was very forthright in how she viewed things. I remember when I was young, she said to me, I don't believe that priests in a church should not be married. I believe they ought to be married. And if they had children, then they could give advice to married couples before they get married. There's always this pre-talk before you get married by a priest. I don't know in other religions, but it used to be in Catholicism, in the Catholic way of thinking. The priest would instruct you what to do, and you don't touch each other, and you don't do this and don't do that, and lead to temptation, and all hell will break loose. But they never had a conversation for gay people or helping the gay community. And that caused an awful lot of people, especially if you look at Poland, how I think over the years in Poland, there's been an intolerance towards gay people, and a lot of gay people have left Poland because of even their prime minister preaching hatred and a dislike over the years. And I've seen it in Chile, and I've seen it in Iran, I think, or Iraq. I saw a YouTube video where they hung a gay couple. So it goes on, and it still goes on today, this misapprehension. But the one thing that I love about Ireland is that we have come forth so much in life. We have the gay marriage, it's legalized. The gay community, I've seen lots of young gay men hold hands, and lesbian women hold hands, and I've seen gay men and lesbian women with children and living their lives to the full. People say it's not normal. That's your opinion. In my eyes, it is normal. Love is love. And I think that's what Aurora in this song is teaching. Cure for me, there is this myth that a lot of therapy by whomever can convert a gay person to be straight. I can only say in my own humble opinion, that is total bullshit. To the highest level. I get very angry, and to think Aurora has wrote a song about this and her concerns about the gay community makes me now know why I have a great affiliation to Aurora as a person. She's in tune with Mother Nature. She's a giving woman. She writes the most prolific songs that I'm constantly playing, constantly reacting to on my channel, because I just don't believe anybody can come near her. I think when she was born, all the gods came together and they knew that they had put that physical being. We all talk about Egyptian times, and we all talk about Greek times and the gods and Neptune and so on and so forth. But on Mother Earth we have Aurora. In many ways we do. And the song The Seed and all her other Mother Nature videos I have just so enjoyed. but this particular one struck a chord with me. Homosexuality is something I would say affects everybody in every community. I come from an extremely large family. Allegedly, I'm the only gay person in my whole family. My mother was single, so she was the only daughter, but my father came from an extremely large family, 13 plus in his family, plus his parents, plus all the cousins, and then they grew up to have families, and they had children, and I'm the only one, allegedly, that is gay. So what cure is there for me? Well, my parents were my cure. I had wonderful supporting parents. I remember my father coming up to me, everybody, and shaking my hand and saying to me, "There's no need to be embarrassed about being yourself, son. I want you to live the best possible life that you can live." And I said, "Thank you. I thought you would have reacted differently." And he said, "Not at all." And he held my hands so tight. I remember he held this particular hand and he held it so tight. And he looked directly at me and says, "Look at me." And I had my head down and I looked up at him. And he gave me the biggest hug. And then he went like this with his hands on my face. And he looked and he said, "I'm looking at you into your eyes. And I'm saying, do not do what a lot of people do. Do not commit suicide, because I fully support you as a son. You have never brought trouble to this house. None of my children have. And I support you. Me and your mother have known for a long time that you were. But I support you because not enough fathers support their sons in this issue fully. Well, you have got my backing on this 100%. You go away, you choose carefully who you want to be with, you be careful sexually, you practice safe sex, but be happy and be the person you want to be and become that person, knowing your parents are not ashamed of you." And I just remember breaking down. First time I ever shed tears in front of my father. Such powerful words. No amount of therapy is going to change your heart, your way of thinking, how you are. And what a boring world it would be, I'm going to finish on this, if we were all the same. If the whole world was straight. How boring would that be? It wouldn't be a diverse culture. And if we were all white people and there was no we were all white Caucasian and there was no black people or sallow-skinned people, how boring the world would be. We're a good mixture in the whole world and the spectrum of things. We as a community are a good, strong community. We've been through enough. I would say stay strong, think positively, get out of therapy, look for your own life, and move forward and believe in yourself. And all those negative vibes through therapy that tell you you're this, you're that, you're the other, dismiss them. Because what you are is a human being with a heart that beats, that deserves love and attention and being surrounded by supportive people. And there are those places in every country in the world, in every country. More so now in Ireland than ever before. The freedom they have today is wonderful. So for me, the cure for me is to remain being me. Thanks for listening.